Okay, everyone. Got update on the looter shooter thing. I learned some really, really valuable stuff. I'm gonna go over that valuable information and and talk about the status of the project itself and what I've been doing to address at least some of the problems that have cropped up. You're probably gonna be laughing your ass off or face palming when you see what I had to do. Okay. For those who are tuning in who don't know, this is a personal project I've been working on for maybe I don't know, maybe 5 months. I've gotten it to a very, very, very I gotten it to a really awesome point in its life, and then I hit a wall where the project will eat itself alive. So, one of the first things that it was brought to my attention is that renaming files, blueprints, if you rename them, it's a very, very dangerous thing to do. Renaming blueprints causes all kinds of problems with the engine. And I'm guilty of renaming a lot of stuff. When I'll like create a blueprint and I'll be like, oh, that name sucks, or maybe there's a typo or something like that. Yeah, you're supposed to just delete it and make a new one and make damn sure that you get it correct on the first try. Now, there's also moving files around, which is just as bad, almost as bad as renaming them. When you move files around, there's something that is not documented. That is that if you there's a piece of information that is not documented. I had no idea it even existed. Do you see this right here? It says fix up redirectors in folders. Okay, whenever you move a file from one folder to another, which is also something that I've done many times over the last 5 months, I have taken things and put them in different folders and stuff like that. What that actually does is it creates a little 1 kilobyte file with the exact same name that redirects to the new file. I don't know why this exists. It doesn't make any logical sense to me. Maybe some technical reason about the way the engine actually functions, but this could just be removed. This is not a feature. This is not good. Like, take it out or get rid of it. I will never want a redirect rather than just pointing to the actual file. Well, luckily, there's a way to fix these redirects, and it's this guy right here. Find references to all redirectors in the selected folders and resave them if possible, then delete any redirectors that had all their references fixed. Okay, so if you have a project where you move lots of stuff around, you have redirectors, you're just asking for trouble, make sure to use this whenever you move files around. You don't want those redirectors. You don't want renamed files with redirectors. I think even renaming a file might cause that a redirect. It really screws things up. Luckily, this feature does exist. No one's talking about it. It wasn't in the documentation, but it's there. And it's very, very, very useful. Okay. So with all of that, here's just what I had to do. So it didn't solve the. There's a major problem right now where this file, right here, this guy, if you change this file at all, if you do anything, if I rename any one of these things, it will completely hose the build. I can no longer touch the base file for all items in the entire inventory thing until this bug is fixed. So I can't do anything without hosing the entire build. If I rename item level, it just dies. Now, it's possible that what I did wrong was I named the struct the same thing as the actual name of the blueprint. Okay, normally when I do this, I would say Qt item base struct, but this time I didn't. I guess that was my punishment. Yeah, okay. So, this file is messed up. Well, it otherwise works. There's other problems too. Okay, so Qt container, this pin always comes unconnected. And we've tried all kinds of stuff to make this not happen. It happens 100% of the time. Every time I load the editor, this pin comes unconnected, and there is absolutely nothing that can be done. I've tried all kinds of shit. I've tried rebuilding this node. If you fuck with this file too much, you also risk completely destroying the entire build. Alright, so, yeah, at least I can compile this. With that said, I was also advised to avoid using structs as much as I am. There is a different thing that actually should replace structs called data tables. I didn't know that it would cost me the entire project for, for sticking with structs. Well, I'm being dramatic. It's not costing me the entire project. It's just going to force me to take time off. So I'm just going to be all antsy playing like Black Desert or fucking The Division or something for a little while while I'm not getting my UE4 fix. But these two things right here are really, really super duper useful things for that if I had been using these the entire time, not only would it be more reliable, but it probably it actually has better performance as well, apparently. And it's also less likely to have weird problems because you cannot write to a data table without specifically opening the data table up and writing to it. It's basically just spreadsheets, which is actually really badass, and I should have been using these all along rather than using structs. Structs, apparently they still have their place, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably going to be restructuring everything that I do from now on. Any future projects using this tech, I'm going to be using data tables and avoiding using hierarchies. If it's possible, I can just make one base entity and then pop a data table into it when I spawn it and have it just be whatever I need it to be. Rather than having like 2,000 entities, I might have 2,000 data tables. It's weirder. It's a different way to look at it, but that's probably the better and safer way to use blueprints. Okay. For some reason, this file and this file, even after I made these changes, now I'm going to go into this. The engine, whenever one of these files is loaded up as just a data type, in other words, ammo, I went and I fixed all the files already, and there aren't any data types left. But basically, you'll open up a blueprint, and it'll say right here, and it only shows this tab. So it looks like this, and it says, this is a data type and does not actually have any blueprints. And you can click the blue text right here that says open up, turn it into a full blueprint. Well, that was working for a really long time. However, apparently the engine decided that all data types are ignored and you cannot see them. It doesn't care about them. It loads them incorrectly, partially loads them, only does. I still don't get it. So what I had to do with all of these files, and there's hundreds of them, I had to go to each one of them, open it up, click the blue text, and then drop a node that does absolutely nothing in each one of these files. That prevents it from becoming a data type, which then allows the engine to actually parse the file. This is fish with a top hat and a bicycle level game development right here. I mean, I would have never been able to even guess this. I don't even know how. Like this, what the fuck? How? What the planets like align and like did I save? Did I click save when like Mars was in line with Jupiter or something? What the fuck did I do? Why did I get this? I think what it is because my project just got so big, and big blueprint projects at this point in time, not forever, are actually kind of prone to this kind of stuff. And so when you start a blueprint project, yeah, keep this in mind. You may end up actually running into this kind of stuff. Alright, so I pretty much went over all of the things. It wasn't really that painful to drop a array get in like all of these files. Every one of them that was a data type before has to now have one of these. It was tedious, but I just loaded up some YouTube and like was watching stuff while I was doing it. I had to do it in order. Because if you look at the output log, this is where I currently am now. Now there was way more yellow text. Okay, now I went through every single one of these, but there was all this yellow text was because the data type was a failed to load parent for function. Okay, and it went like it covered the entire screen. And now that I've gone through all of them, this is what I'm left with right here. Okay. These look scary, and it looks like it's all Qt item based. Not surprising. With that said, I think I was going to say that, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about these two files. Why do I do that? I always get sidetracked when I'm trying to explain something. I'll just like, woohoo, shiny, and then just like change the subject. Alright, I was talking about these two files. No matter what I do, they reset. Alright, this is how it's supposed to actually look. Like that. Okay, this is the ammo base is supposed to look like this. and Qt Bullets is supposed to look like this. These two files. The other ones don't do this. It's just these two. Alright. Has to happen every single time I load the editor. It will not save. Doesn't do anything. It completely ignores me. I don't know how to get around it. I don't know. I mean, what am I supposed to fucking do? Like, I think a lot of this stuff is actually just out of my hands. So as for the project right now, as it stands, I'm gonna release this slightly more fixed up version. But until these bugs are fixed, this project is dead. I can't work on it anymore. I can't. 5 fucking months. At least I learned a lot. I learned a lot. The only problem that I have now, though, is like, well, cool, knowledge is amazing. Like, I can do this project again in half the time and make it even better. There's all kinds of stupid shit that I went through and, like, inefficient ways to doing things and stuff like that, that the second time through I can do, like, a fucking excellent job and make it even better. But it bothers me because what's the point if it's just going to do this again? I'm afraid that it's going to do this again. So it really depresses me that it's just going to happen. I really hope that this can get fixed. I am in the process still. Hopefully it'll happen. But I'm wondering, are other people doing really big Blueprint projects right now? Is there anyone else doing something of this size or even larger? There has to be. I can't be the only one. I can't be. If you're working with Blueprints, like, are you able to take a look at what I'm doing and be like, oh, dude, you fucked up, man. You renamed the file. You deserve to have your whole project destroyed. Like, what am I missing? Like, what can I don't know. I'm bargaining at this point in time. It's depressing. However, I am still getting help, and there is still hope that it can get fixed. But that's pretty much where it stands at this point in time. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you found this educational. And I'm going to cross my fingers. Take it easy. Stay tuned for more of something, because, yeah.